Shannon, how would LeBron have worked as MJ's teammate?
Well, Skip, if you get LeBron early, before he becomes what he's becoming, I think I think LeBron is on to something. It's hard for me to see a scenario where LeBron is, say like 3 years, 4 years into the league, he's established himself and then becomes second fiddle. But Skip, LeBron's game is all about passing, moving the basketball. Yeah, he can get his own shot. We know what he represents, but he can pass the ball. He's a better passer. True point guard. Both have got about 6'9", play the three, the small forward. But I would have loved to have seen this. Now I don't know how realistic it is. I don't know if LeBron is going to take Jordan's type of leadership, the tough, hands-on, tough love, whatever you want to call it, bullying. Tough love, pulling, dragging, going. But I think LeBron is very, very self-motivated. So I don't think Michael would have had, because Michael didn't do that to Scottie. So I believe he would have known what Bron represents and would have not had to do that with LeBron James. But but to say, wow. I mean, to hear LeBron say that, Skip, I mean, obviously you're like, yeah, it would have been great to play with Magic or play with Bird, but I don't know if I've ever heard of a historically great player saying they would have loved to have played with another great player, especially, you're talking about, we definitely wouldn't be having these debates right now, Skip, if LeBron James played with Michael Jordan. We're not going to have a debate. We can't have a debate with GOATs if you play on the same team. So, I think that's what kind of hurt Magic and what hurt Kareem a little bit, Skip, is that they played on the same team. And it's kind of hard when you got two guys like that for okay, which one is better? But I would have loved to have seen it. But then I wouldn't get an opportunity to see GOAT in its purest form. I mean, I would not have got an opportunity to see the big GOAT. Like Edie was talking about the one with the horn, the big horn, like old GOAT James be having on the side of his head. I wouldn't have got an opportunity to see that, Skip, because Mike would have been hogging up all the shots. And I would have been seeing them game winners that old GOAT James been hitting in the playoffs over the last 17 years. So, Skip, I do think it would have worked, though. I really do, because I think LeBron would have set whatever notions about him wanting to be, let's say, a historically great player. I believe he would have set that aside because he would have wanted to win championships, and that's what it would have taken, because you can't have two assassins on the same team. One of the guys needs to be an assassin, and the other guy needs to take a different type of role. Scottie was able to do that. I believe LeBron would have been able to do that. I know it drives you crazy, but LeBron James, they might have had about 14 titles. 14. LeBron gets there at 87 like Scottie Pippen, so 88, 89, they didn't run out about 10 or 11 straight. Celtics would have been no more. We didn't even talk about the late 50s and 60s Celtics. It'd have been the Bulls with GOAT James and Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Before I address your last point, which is the best point for me to attack, allow me to address LeBron's contention that he would have been perfect for Michael Jordan. For once, I completely and utterly agree with LeBron and with Shannon Sharpe. He would have been the perfect complement to Michael Jordan. I couldn't have made it up better. You've got LeBron, whose nature is to pass first, and you've got what LeBron said was the all-time assassin, a man who attacked you to score the basketball, to rip effectively your basketball throat out. And to me, you're right. In fact, Rick Bucher's piece that we talked about yesterday, Bleacher Report, was about how would Michael do today. And there was an anonymous quote from a NBA executive saying, yeah, LeBron playing with Michael would have been Scottie on steroids. Yep, he would have been 6'9", 260. With that passing gift, you would have been everything Scottie and then some. You would have taken it up a whole nother level from Scottie. But I've told you from the start, the reason it would have worked is because LeBron is more of a lover than a fighter. He's more of a non-confrontational. He's more of a facilitator, and he would have gone with MJ's flow, especially if you get him as a younger player. Yes, he would have begun deferring to Jordan, and he would have allowed Jordan to become the alpha on the team. And I think LeBron James with Michael could have been the all-time greatest Robin you could ever imagine. But he would be the B-side to the alpha. And in the end, when you look at LeBron, he would keep doing what he does best, which is make not good passes. He's still the best passer in basketball. And then it would be more on Michael's shoulders to hit last shots, to make game-changing plays on offense and defense, as he regularly did. And that would be a lethal combination. And LeBron went so far as to say that he likes being challenged by a big brother like Dwayne Wade the first time around in Miami, 2011. He said, I loved it when D. Wade came to me and said, hey, 6, because he's obviously wearing number 6. 6, you got to get going. And he loved that Ty Lue, his second time around in Cleveland, would say, Bron, when are you going to get going? You know, it's time, right? And he said he took that and enjoyed the challenge of it. And I can tell you what would have happened if those two had been together. Trust me, Michael would have toughened up LeBron. Michael would have made LeBron a much better late game, close game free throw shooter, because I promise you, Shannon, every day after practice, Michael would have challenged LeBron to a free throw shooting contest in front of the team and the coaches. And it would be for money only those two guys could have afforded, LeBron and Michael. And once you get put to the fire, you get fire tested by that guy. And if you beat him occasionally, you'd start feeling better and better about your chances standing alone at the late game free throw line with the game tied, 1 down, about making those free throws. So I think Michael could have been great for LeBron. Now, to your point, I was shocked that LeBron talked about this. Why would he even bring it up? It's almost like he's conceding the GOAT debate to Michael, because Michael would never talk about playing with LeBron. Did you hear that come up in the document? No, you're not going to hear that. He would never acknowledge LeBron, except in that 2015 ESPN The Magazine article in which he talked about he'd studied LeBron on TV, because in Michael's head it was, how can I defend him? I've got to make him go left, because when he goes left, he pulls up and shoots jump shots. I can't let him go right because he's too big for me. 6'9", 260, I'm 6'6", maybe 215. So I can't let him drive hard right and drive by me. And Michael talked openly about that, about how to stop LeBron, not about joining forces with LeBron. Because, Shannon, Michael Jordan, the last thing he wanted to do is join forces with Magic or Bird or Kareem or whoever it was. He didn't think like that. Everything he had was homegrown. Scotty was drafted, obviously, and Tony Kukoc was drafted. They did go get Dennis Rodman, but the point was that everything was there for him. It got acquired to Chicago. He didn't have to go chasing championships. So I was shocked that LeBron would talk about being his Robin. Why would you even acknowledge that publicly unless in your head that's your way of conceding the GOAT debate? That's my takeaway from it. LeBron saying, I give up.
You know what, Skip? I think the thing is that we want there to be a rivalry between Michael Jordan and LeBron James. And I think we want LeBron to, because if you really think about it, Skip, Michael has really never talked in glowing terms about LeBron as he has Kobe. And I think the fact of the matter is that people won't, well, he's never said anything good about you, LeBron. Why do you rush to always praise and heat? But Skip, that was his idol. That was the guy he looked up to. Skip, that's why he wears 23. We know that. That's why he wears it. That's who, Skip, everybody wanted to be Mike. Everybody wanted to fly through the air. Everybody wanted those shoes because they thought it could make them be Mike. People started drinking Gatorade, and they never drunk Gatorade, Skip, because Michael Jordan drank Gatorade. Skip, you remember, and I know you remember this, Gatorade used to come in glass containers. I dropped a mini of them in the store, and when it hit the pavement, the concrete, it was over. There was a lot of cleanup in the back right here because I just dropped a jug of Gatorade. But everybody wanted to be Mike. And what he did, Skip, everybody's house, as far as like, I'm just talking basketball players, everybody's house that's being built, Michael Jordan laid the foundation. So all these shoe deals that you see, Skip, and all these other stuff that you see, that's Michael Jordan's foundation. And so LeBron has really never had a problem heaping praise on the old guard, be it Magic, be it Bird, be it Kareem, and most importantly, Michael Jordan, because he views Michael. And if you heard him talk, he said it was like, Skip, and I told you this, Skip, I told you, and I keep saying this. If you go back, and I'm not talking about Magic and Larry because they were already somebody, but if you go back and let's start with Shaq and come back down, everybody says the exact same thing. When you meet Michael Jordan, it's like meeting a god. It's like he's levitating. And I was talking to Steve. I said, Steve, I'm telling you, it's like he's not real. I'm talking about when I met him for the very first time in that elevator in Atlanta, Skip, he's not. I'm like, this is Michael Jordan. I mean, and I know, Skip, look, my grandmother, I grew up in the church, Skip, and you're not supposed to have reverence to no man. But, Skip, this man is like God. It's like he was levitating. I'm looking at him and talking to him. And I know you think, this dude weird. This dude looking at me like I'm crazy. But, Skip, it was like he was levitating. And you listen to Shaq and look at Kobe and all these other guys, D. Wade, how they talk about him. Skip, he doesn't seem real. And, you know, LeBron was saying, well, like, I didn't think he was real. I just thought he was real in TV. I didn't think, you know, you cut the TV off and then he goes away. And then you see him and he's standing right there in front of you, Skip. I've met a lot of famous people in my life. I've met a lot of important people that got billions, 50, 100 billions. Nothing. No man, I've never, ever seen anybody have that kind of impact on other, Skip, and I'm not the only one that have that kind of impact on someone. Skip, it's like Michael, it's like he's not real. And it's still to this day, he's like that. I'm like, man, this man, Skip, he levitates. I'm telling you, Skip, you've been around him. You know the aura that's around him. You know it.
Okay, but Shannon,
yes,
you know this has to hurt you because it hurts your GOAT argument when LeBron is openly acknowledging, I could have been his Robin. I could have been his Pippen. I'm shocked that LeBron would go that far to say, yeah, I concede. I would have been a great compliment to Michael Jeffrey Jordan. I just didn't think I'd ever hear that from LeBron. And again, you can interpret it how you want, but I interpret it as I concede the GOAT debate.
Skip, look at it. Okay. We can go back. Let's do the Batman movies. And the first one came out, if I'm not mistaken, 1989. Jack Nicholson played the Joker. And we've had several since, and they've all been Nicholson. He played the original Joker. Now we come back and we go to Heath Ledger, and then we go to Joaquin Phoenix. So I'm just trying to figure, Skip, which one is the best? Which one is the best? Because for me, there is no wrong. I mean, a lot of people like Heath Ledger because he went to a cold, dark place. I'm a little biased towards the original, Jack Nicholson. But Phoenix just won the Oscar. He was unbelievable, too. So, Skip, that's the way you look. That's the way I'm looking at it. And I give great deference to Magic and Bird and all these other great Hall of Famers that said Mike is the GOAT. But, Skip, it's my argument like this, Skip. You might like fried chicken. I might like ribs. That's your dish. You not moving me off my argument. Just because you like it, that don't mean I like my dish. I like GOAT James, and I'm riding with GOAT James because guess what? We're not done painting this masterpiece. We're going to paint this masterpiece, Skip.
We can debate you're doing a lot of apples and oranges and pears because we can debate who the best Batman was or who the best Joker was. But we're talking. We can debate who the best basketball we're talking player. About now. No, we're talking about LeBron openly acknowledging, I could have been Robin. Okay, you could have been the best Robin. We all agree. Yes, LeBron James, you would have been the greatest Robin ever, and it wouldn't have been close. But you're admitting you're even thinking about being Robin. Game over.
Skip.
You're not
Hold on.
Batman. You're
Let me ask you-
acknowledging that
let me ask
you're
you-
considering how would it have been to be Robin? Wow.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Was Magic Johnson ever Robin? If I'm not mistaken, when Magic Johnson got to the league, he was Robin.
No.
Magic Johnson was Robin.
He wasn't.
Skip.
He was not.
Skip, you do realize Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson's rookie year, Kareem was the MVP. So how in the hell you become Batman and Robin was the MVP? Have you ever seen a scenario where that happens?
Okay, but Shannon, look at the 4 previous years for the Lakers when it was just Kareem without Magic and see what happened.
Yes.
Nothing happened. They were abysmal.
No, did it?
All of a sudden, Magic became the alpha. He became the leader of the team. And remember Game 6 at Philadelphia when Kareem couldn't go?
Yes.
What that rookie Magic
his
did,
ankle.
he played center.
Yeah.
It shows you they didn't even need him.
They didn't need it. But Skip, you mentioned they were abysmal, but in the previous 4 years before Magic got there, Kareem was MVP 3 times. So it's hard for me to see a scenario in which an
But look at
MVP,
the-
a 3-time
look at the
MVP.
records.
Yeah, Skip, Skip, all I can do is just give you that. That's all I can give you. So I'm just saying, Skip, he's not Robin, but he said if I'd have needed to play that role, I could have played that role and I would have embraced it. And that's what you have to do to be great. You have to be willing to embrace a role.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.